The conversation between Eida and Mitsuki is not appreciated enough, especially for how it is going to impact the development of Mitsuki as a character, and also set off a chain of events that will end with the destruction of Konoha. In Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 8, Eida and Mitsuki had a discussion where Mitsuki was telling Eida about what happened in the fight between him and Boruto. Mitsuki has always depended on other individuals for him to feel like he is important or that his life has meaning and direction. Before Eida and Kawaki activated Omnipotence, the source of meaning and direction in Mitsuki's life was Boruto. Mitsuki used to view Boruto as his light and the person that he used as an example to learn what human emotions are and how they function. Orochimaru wanted Mitsuki to learn from the people around him, so that Mitsuki can become his own individual. Yet Mitsuki was fixated with Boruto, and ended up tying his entire identity to whether or not Boruto acknowledges him. Then Omnipotence was activated. Boruto and Kawaki's places were switched, and Mitsuki started to look for meaning and direction in Kawaki. But things didn't go so well because Kawaki was dark and cold towards Mitsuki. He didn't shine the same light as Boruto. Mitsuki didn't understand why his light suddenly stopped shining because he wasn't aware that Kawaki and Boruto have traded places due to Omnipotence. Then Mitsuki had a confrontation with Boruto, where Boruto made him aware that he knows that Mitsuki's source of light, the reason that Mitsuki can keep going, doesn't feel the same for Mitsuki anymore. Boruto used his father's Tug no Jutsu to make Mitsuki look within himself and accept that Kawaki isn't the source of light that he thought he was. This made Mitsuki stand down and stop trying to fight with Boruto. Instead, Mitsuki was trying to figure out who Boruto really is, because Boruto managed to get through to him and appeal to his emotions. This is where we get the conversation between Eida and Mitsuki in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 8. Mitsuki mentions to Eida that he never knew the emotion of love until he met Eida. She was confused by his words and even thought that he was trying to make a move on her. But Mitsuki made it clear that what he means is that he knows that the love he feels for Eida is a result of Eida's ability. But he doesn't view it as a bad thing because if it wasn't for that, he would have gone through life without ever experiencing that kind of emotion. Mitsuki wonders if this is because he is an artificial being that doesn't originate from any other living thing that used to have emotions. This might be why he doesn't understand love and maybe why he also doesn't fully understand himself. This is the reason why he was so dependent on a son to have a sense of identity. Mitsuki also realized that he needs to give himself affirmation before looking for it in other people, or he might lose sight of what is most important, and this could lead to him choosing the wrong person to be his son. Mitsuki then goes on to say that he thinks him and Eida are similar. Mitsuki mentions that he loves Kawaki, but he doesn't know why he feels that way about Kawaki. Eida tells him that it doesn't matter why it happens, this is how love works. You just feel a tightness in your chest when you think about that person. She goes on to say that maybe Mitsuki isn't able to comprehend that, because her ability caused Mitsuki to experience false emotions of love. We start to see the impact that Boruto's Tug no Jutsu had on Mitsuki, as he continues to open up more to Eida about his feelings. The reality that Kawaki might not be Mitsuki's son was a reality that was a bit scary for Mitsuki to accept. So out of that fear of facing that unfortunate truth, Mitsuki decided to stop thinking about whether or not Kawaki was his real son. This also made Eida question whether or not she's just a foolish girl who's in love with the idea of being in love and doesn't really have any genuine feelings for Kawaki. This is an important point, especially considering where Eida comes from. We have no idea what Eida and Daemon's origins are. The only thing we know is that Amado modified their two cyborg siblings with ninja tech and Shinjutsu abilities. This made the two siblings powerful enough to be a threat to Jigen. As a result of that, Jigen ordered for them to be disposed of, but Boro couldn't do it for his own reasons. So he decided to hide them in one of his cult facilities. That's where the two siblings were cryogenically frozen inside of capsules until Code decided to awaken them. We have no idea what their parental history is, or who they were before they became Eida and Daemon, the cyborg siblings that were modified by Amado. My assumption is that Eida and Daemon are one of Amado's failed experiments at trying to resurrect his daughter Akibi. The fact that Eida has Shinjutsu abilities means that they can only come from an Otsutsuki god, an Otsutsuki such as Shibai Otsutsuki. There was even a promotional extract that explains that Shibai Otsutsuki might have been the person that created the Naruto universe. It also hinted that Eida only has a fraction of his power, so you can imagine that a being that is capable of such a feat would be the kind of power that Amado wants to recreate. This is a power that transcends all creation and destruction. Or for example, use that kind of power to resurrect someone that died due to unfortunate circumstances, someone like Amado's daughter Akibi. This is why I think Eida was one of Amado's failed attempts to use Shibai Otsutsuki, or the Otsutsuki god's powers to resurrect Akibi. That power would have been omnipotent. Whether we like it or not, Eida's omnipotence Shinjutsu is a tiny fraction of the Otsutsuki god's power to grant wishes. The desire for Kawaki to switch places with Boruto that was turned into reality by Eida's omnipotence Shinjutsu might have been the power within Eida that Amado was trying to cultivate and control when he modified the two siblings. The only thing that was stopping Amado from using Eida's power might have been the fact that he didn't know how to activate Eida's omnipotence Shinjutsu. And another thing might have been the two cyborg siblings turning on him and refusing to work with him, more especially because it is obvious that Eida has a deep hatred for Amado. She hates Amado for giving her the Shinjutsu abilities, which have made her life unbearably painful. Eida's enchantment ability made it hard for her to have any genuine connections. She can't have any genuine friendships or love interests, because her charm ability makes people infatuated with her, but those are not genuine feelings. I think that the charm ability might have been something that she activated herself when she had a deep desire to experience love. The idea that Eida and Daemon might have grown up in a lab environment where they were only treated like guinea pigs for experimentation and didn't get much interaction with anyone from the outside world, also add in the chance that they have never experienced parental love or adoration, all played a role in making Eida feel the desire to make everyone give her love and attention. That desire unintentionally triggered her omnipotence, and her charm ability manifested. She even said it in the Boruto manga that this wasn't the first time that her ability was activated with Boruto and Kawaki switching places. So Eida has no idea what it feels like to experience genuine love from other people. This is how she is similar to Mitski. The both of them are lab experiments that had to go to the outside world and teach themselves what love is and how to experience love, as well as other kinds of emotions that are a part of their living experience. Mitski and Eida need to learn how to differentiate between the different kinds of love, friendship love or romantic love, who they should be giving their love to, and how to recognize when someone genuinely has love for them too. This might be why Eida told Mitski that she wants to have a chat with Boruto. This might be the questions that Eida is going to ask Boruto. The day that Eida and Mitski have a better understanding of what love is and who is deserving of their love and devotion, the two of them are going to realize that Kawaki doesn't care about them and they should cut their ties with him, before they end up getting disappointed by him, or even worse, getting their feelings hurt by Kawaki. This is another way that Kawaki is going to keep on losing support in the future and he is going to find himself isolated. The realization that Boruto is the cause of him losing the people that had been supporting him, even though the support from some of them was due to omnipotence. It is going to deepen the hatred that Kawaki has against Boruto, and that is when he won't hesitate to destroy everything that those people care about, the biggest thing being the village of Konoha. It is the home of the people that used to support him. It is also the home of the person that he looks up to the most, Naruto Uzumaki. It also became his home for a period of 3 years during the time skip when he was living Boruto's life. So the minute that everyone distances themselves from Kawaki, adding in his feelings of frustration because he is powerless against his enemies, Kawaki will go down a dark path of destruction that no one has ever seen before in the Naruto series. As they say, an individual that does not feel accepted by a village will burn it down to feel its warmth. Kishimoto is slowly putting together the pieces of the puzzle that will give us the entire story of how Kawaki became the person that we saw in the time skip scene, through the development of characters like Eida and Mitsuki. And this is only the beginning of Kawaki losing everything after he had just gained it for a short time, and Kawaki coming from having nothing. This is an obvious recipe for disaster. Kawaki's journey in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is going to be very interesting.